These around implications for counter-deception. Though the above principles are framed in terms of what factors are associated with deception success, they have implications for countering deception. Thus, for example, the injunction to capitalize upon a victim's preconceptions, Maxim 1, suggests that it is important to examine one's own givens for exploitable weaknesses, a manifestly correct, if not altogether pleasant conclusion. Witness the unpopularity of the advocatus diaboli. Similarly, Jones-Lima cautions against over-reliance upon one channel of information and suggests the benefits of redundant sensors to detect incongruities. A third example is Axelrod's caution to consider the stakes involved when evaluating the historical record of an opponent's choices. Time and space constraints do not permit a full elaboration of the counter-deception implications of these principles, a work deferred for the future. A need to broaden the perspective. The above maxims were developed principally in the context of military rather than political cases, though there appears to be some transferability, preconceptions, the law of small numbers, etc., it may be useful to develop a database similar to that cited here, containing cases of political deception. Though certainly a laborious undertaking, the possible benefits to analysis are likewise substantial. In notes, let's see if there's anything worth reading here. It should be noted that the strategic cases considered are those that ultimately culminated in a battle. Other cases that did not result in an actual engagement are not included. There is some evidence to suggest that inclusion of these cases would lower estimates of the success of deception. An example of an unsuccessful deception effort was Cockade, the overall deception plan for 1943 intended to tie up the German military awaiting a national Allied invasion across the Channel. Cockade did not culminate in a military engagement and thus is not in the databank. For a more pessimistic assessment of the success of deception efforts in World War II, see Cruikshank. Referring to the classic situation which General Magruder exploited at Gaines' Mill, they had merely to persuade the enemy to continue to believe what he already wanted to believe. Lewin's source for this Civil War analogy is Bruce Kenton. The other accounts of the action at Gaines' Mill would credit Lee or Jackson with the wisdom rather than Magruder. The following table shows the upper 95% confidence estimate, one-sided, for a proportion when no instances of some event are observed in a sample size of n. These are Experimental Statistics, National Bureau of Standards, Handbook 91, U.S. Government Printing Office, Washington, D.C. That would be a good thing to look up. I think I'll do that. Further, a value of 1 is attached to the outcome associated with the attack of an undefeated position, and 0, otherwise the resulting 2 by 2 zero-sum game has the playoff or payoff structure. And the optimal solution is a mixed strategy of half by half for both the attacker and the defender, resulting in a value of half numerically equal to the probability that the attack will occur against an undefended position. Suppose now that the attacker can broaden the options and convince the defender that there are 3 threatened locations, the resulting 3 by 3 zero-sum game. This is the 3 by 3. You can also find some stuff on this that might be a little bit easier to understand in a book called Drama Theory. Okay, so the zero-sum game has optimal mixed strategies: 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, for both the attacker and the defender, and a value of 2, 3, a quantity larger than that to the first game. So 2, 3. Multiplication of options thus increases the likelihood of success. It is evident that the value of this game is n1/n as the number of options is increased and approaches unity, complete success, as the number grows larger. References? The end.